Alright, serious question for you guys. Should I keep traveling the world and doing all this lit shit, or should I actually settle down and get my own place? Yo, what is going on everyone? Hayden here, coming back at you with a brand new video, and in this one, I am coming to you from Prague, which is the Europe end of my journey as I'm traveling, and as I record this, it's only 2 days until I jump to the next destination. But I've been thinking a lot about this over, I would say, the last 5 weeks or so that I've been traveling. And for those of you who haven't kept up with the journey, over the last couple of months, I've been in Mexico, I've been in China, I've been in Bali, I've been in Thailand, I've been in Malaysia, I've been in Russia, and I've been in Europe. So it's been really interesting to first of all travel and see different cultures, because you know, I just turned 18, and right when I turned 18, I went and started traveling the world, like a month after. So actually less. So it was really interesting to see that, but I never actually left the country when I was younger, except for one occasion, which is actually really similar to Prague. I went to France for 2 days. 2 days. So I hadn't even adjusted to the time zone. I didn't really get a chance to do or see much, but it was really interesting, and obviously being a 12-year-old, I didn't appreciate it. But traveling itself, before I get into my thought process behind this, the pros and cons on everything, it's been amazing. It has. There's been struggles. There's been struggles with Wi-Fi, with people. For example, Russia, I will never go back there. They are all complete assholes. You know, it's really been interesting to see just all the different cultures, you know, things that are, you know, like Europe where it's more expensive, places like Thailand where it's crazy cheap, but then some things are really expensive, like, you know, jet skiing is even more expensive than the US. It's just really interesting to see the different cultures and see the different things that are out there in the world, because I've traveled a lot inside of the US when I was a minor, but never outside of the country. So besides that one little trip in Paris, nothing. Now I want your guys' opinion on this, so feel free to drop it in the comments down below, both before and or after I explain this. So if you want to just jump the gun based on maybe what you've seen on my Snapchat, my Instagram, both posts and stories, and kind of give your feedback on it, go ahead and drop it in the comments down below, but be sure to watch all the way through this video, because it's interesting to see, and this is gonna be me explaining, you know, the pros and cons of what's been personally affecting me as I'm traveling, as well as what I'm looking for, how I've changed, because I didn't just leave. Let me start from the beginning first of all. I bought my car, which is kind of irrelevant, bought my car, and then my next goal from that was to move to Los Angeles. I achieved that February 1st in 2018. So this February, right? There's a really loud car outside. I hope you guys can't hear that. But I achieved that goal. So I moved there, and what happened after that is I turned 18 in the beginning of March, so approximately 1 month after. And then towards the end of March is when we booked everything and decided to travel, and then I left on April 5th. So about a month, actually 29 days to be precise, after my birthday. So it was really interesting to see, and I went from first moving to California and then having left. That was about a 2-month time frame. What was I doing in that 2 months? I was living the dream, as you will. I was trying to get in the groove. I was trying to, you know, live the whole Hollywood lifestyle while still, you know, I don't even want to mean it like that because that puts a bad rep on it, but I was trying to experience things. I was trying to see what was going on. I was trying to stunt. I was trying to flex, and don't get me wrong, I'm not that type. I don't have Rolexes. I'm not out here like renting crazy cars, which I do sometimes because I love cars, but not for the purpose of flexing. When I do that, I go take it in the middle of nowhere in California so that I can go enjoy the car and actually put it to its limits. So that's what I like doing. I really love cars. But in that 1.5 to 2 month time frame, about 2 months, when I was in Los Angeles, I was constantly looking for different houses. Like, I probably looked at every single listing on Zillow on my computer, you know, all the different real estate sites. Worked with Graham Stephan, by the way, shout out to you, homie, helping us find a house. And we went to a lot of different properties, you know, over the course of 2 months, both some apartments, primarily focused on houses. And you know, I saw a lot of stuff that I really liked. I did, but it was nothing I loved. And for me, I'm extremely particular when it comes to real estate. Like, as I've been traveling, I'm gonna explain this in a second, but I've been constantly scouring for more listings because I wanna see what else pops on the market. So I saw a lot of stuff that I liked, but nothing that I loved. And maybe that was because, you know, I didn't have the right budget or whatever. There just wasn't the right stuff in the areas I wanted, yada, yada. I was trying to get it furnished. I was only looking at furnished listings because I didn't want to deal with, you know, furnishing a house, which can definitely be a pain in the butt and extremely expensive. But other than that, it was really interesting to see that I constantly went to all these places. The one place I applied, actually, that's a lie, 2 places. First of all, a penthouse, which I got accepted for. I put the deposit down and then did not end up moving in because I didn't want it. I wanted to find a house, And then those little scumbags kept my deposit, saying, oh, it was non-refundable, even though they said on site when I was there and I put the 500 bucks down, they're like, oh, it is a refundable deposit. Whatever, I don't really care. So that, I got rid of that. I was already approved and accepted into the penthouse. And then I went for a house in Hollywood. I was looking at all these different houses. Hollywood on Mount Olympus, up by the reservoir, Beverly Hills, Bel Air, a little bit up near Mulholland, everywhere in that area, you know, ideally finding some spots with a view. I don't know if I put this one in a video or not, but I submitted an offer, I negotiated, shook hands on a price right there on the spot, agreed to essentially rent this house and sign into a 12-month lease for the price that we agreed on. And it was a beautiful house. It was a $2.5 million property in, it was on Mount Olympus, right off to the side. So like 3 minutes off of Hollywood Boulevard, right up into the hills, had a pool, had a hot tub, a beautiful view of the canyon. You know, it's a nice 2-story house. It was fully furnished, you got everything. There was a gym in the house, pool table, like a big open kitchen. There was a grill out back, spot for some stuff out in the yard. It was beautiful, nice garage, driveway, absolutely stunning neighborhood with a freshly paved street. Neighbors had Rolls Royces, Teslas, G-Wagons, Ferraris, you name it. Absolutely beautiful. I would have loved to have been in that environment, which is why I submitted an offer on the house. I went through, did everything, I had verbally agreed, and then I sent everything over. However, this particular person, and I was leasing, by the way, I was not going to buy the property. You know, my income and my bank statement, not necessarily bank statements, but my tax returns don't exactly date back over 2 years. It's like 1 year. And at this time, you know, tax season for this year it just passed. So I didn't really have anything is what I'm trying to say. I could show income for like the last year, that's not a problem. But this particular person, the owner of the house, didn't care. You know, this is a rich dude, and this is what happens very frequently, which I learned. They don't care if you have the money or not, or if you're a great tenant. What they want is to see sustainability. So essentially, I got declined for that because I didn't have like over 2 or 3 years worth of payment history and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, no crap, I've never had my own house. But it was whatever. I even offered to pay 6 months of the 12-month lease up front, and even 8 months, and then like keep them 3 months in advance. And he just didn't care, didn't want to deal with it. He wanted someone who was just 100% fine. And I actually believe an older family moved in there, because when I was driving by the property one day to look at the other, I saw an older couple moving in. So, and I stopped and asked them about it, of course, just to see, you know, if they were moving in, because it was really interesting to me to see why he declined me. I tried really hard to meet with the actual owner in person, like a really rich dude. But you know, the realtor obviously was the one dealing with me, and the listing agent and whatnot. So it was extremely interesting to see. We did not actually apply for any other houses. And I say we because it was me and one of my good friends who I'm actually currently traveling with. And it was just gonna be the two of us in a house, probably gonna bring in a full-time content guy as well, just for pictures and videos and other content and whatnot that we needed to do. So it was really interesting to see that, you know, found a lot of stuff we liked, a lot of stuff we didn't. So essentially, you know, we were constantly out with one of our good friends who was, you know, helping us take photos. He was a photographer in LA, up and coming, trying to do his thing, and he suggested that we travel. I immediately rejected it. You could ask any of the people who were involved in this. I immediately like, hell no, bro, not a chance. Let me grab a sip of water real quick. And out of all of that, essentially we came to an agreement where if we did not find a house, sign, get approved, yada yada, within like, I think it was a 2-week time period, we would go travel. And essentially, of course, looked at a few more houses, a lot of stuff we liked, didn't love it, so I didn't submit anything on any of them, because I'm not gonna sign into a house that costs, you know, I'm paying well into 6 figures for rent throughout a year. I'm not just gonna, you know, get a house just to get a house. So I was very particular with that. We ended up traveling from there. We went to China, did a little bit with e-commerce and just saw the culture, then went to Bali for a month, Thailand for a month, went and continued traveling, and, you know, now here I am in Prague in the Czech Republic. So it's kind of crazy to see that happened, and that was the progression after that. And while I'm traveling, I've had a lot of interesting things. Some of my stuff has plateaued, some of it's actually gone down, and then some of it's gone up. So it's been a really, really weird emotional roller coaster to see that, because, you know, I don't really get too attached emotionally when it comes to business, except for one day a month where I go through and completely stretch everything out, look at the goals, the achievements, where we were at, what I want to do with certain companies and certain income streams. And I don't even really get too emotional with that, but it freaking sucks when you don't hit a goal. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I set lofty goals. I set bigger stuff, and, you know, I want to achieve big things. So I always do stuff where I know I probably won't hit it, but I try my best. So all the time I don't hit it, and it upsets me, and that pushes me to work harder. That's just my structure. That's what works for me. So one thing I found, it was extremely difficult because I wanted to get a house And one of the rooms in the house was just gonna be, you see all this space right here, it was gonna be custom fitted whiteboards to fit floor to ceiling on every wall, every nook and cranny, so that I could write out and see visual layouts of what I wanted, diagrams. And this is a room I will have in my house whenever I get one, where it's locked, you come to my house, you're not getting in there, I don't care. It's one of those things where, I needed to visualize everything, like a crazy scientist or whatever. I wanna see all that written out. And there's websites and crap on your computer where you can go do digital diagrams. It's not the same. It is not the same, people. I've tried it, I'm doing it, that's what I have to do right now. I don't like it, okay? This is one thing for me. Even like all this stuff, I can't show you what's written on it, so I gotta move it, but big diagrams, always written out on paper. Oh great, the camera's about to die. But I like to have that stuff actually on paper or on a whiteboard, like a more visual, physical thing that helps me see it, maintain it, achieve it, and see exactly what I have to do. So that's why I wanted that in person. So traveling has essentially, it's given me dope content, let me put it like that. Dope content. I've gotten to experience different cultures. I don't want to say I've saved money, because we've spent a lot of money on stupid crap and had a lot of issues, like destroying multiple motorbikes, having to bribe the police 3 different times, which cost like over $1,000 each time, which was ridiculous. A lot of last minute plane tickets, it cost like $3,000, $4,000, which is just stupid for economy. A lot of different stuff, right? Jet skiing almost every single day, and it's more expensive than the US. Just dumb stuff. Eating at resorts every single day in Bali, where it's for tourists, so it is still like 70 bucks for a meal. But that is kind of counterbalanced with all the other stuff that is less expensive. So it's been interesting to see that, and let me switch this camera battery real quick. And just like that, we are back in action. So traveling's been amazing. There's been a lot of pros with that. Cons, internet has definitely lagged. I haven't really been able to do any live streams just to communicate better with my people on Instagram, as well as my YouTube, as well as the students inside of the e-commerce program. So there's definitely been negatives, like uploading a YouTube video. This video, for example, think about it, even in Prague right now, I'm probably gonna upload this while I'm still in Prague. This specific video, it's probably gonna be 15 minutes or whatever. This is gonna take me 3 hours to upload. 3 hours. Anywhere in the US, even in an Airbnb, it would take me 5 minutes, maybe 8 minutes max, if it's decent Wi-Fi. So there's places that could do it in 2 minutes. So it's really interesting to see that there's been negatives, been challenges, and my thing is, I wanted to overcome that. I wanted the challenge. I was like, all right, I'm gonna figure out, because it took away from my work and it switched up the kind of the pattern I've fallen into. And so I had to figure out a way to make it work, and I did. Things are progressing, and now I'm working on a company which I've been working on for a little bit, which is hopefully gonna be one of the fastest growing companies ever, like just ever. So it's really interesting to see what's been going on, and by the way, I don't just say that, it's already going. So it's been really fun to actually challenge myself to do that. But the main reason I would get a house is to be back in the United States. I need a freaking US address. I'm telling you, it's so difficult out here. Everything sucks, like even trying to get chargers and whatnot. Europe's a little bit better, but it's been such a hassle, super annoying. US address is huge. I need a Brugger's Bagel, which I've talked about a few months ago. The absolute best spot for food. Also, Chipotle is pretty good up there. I definitely miss my Chipotle bowl. Which these are just petty little things I'm mentioning. My car, I miss my car, and I miss the other cars that I would have had by now and that I'm going to get when I get back. I also miss my whiteboards, which actually I didn't even have fully set up in Minnesota when I was there, or in Los Angeles while I was trying to find a house. So I'm really excited, because for the last 4 years, I have wanted to, every single day pretty much, that I thought about California, because my only goal for 4 years, move to Los Angeles, move to Los Angeles, move to Los Angeles. I gave a damn about nothing else except for that. And so I made it happen. And so I've always wanted to build my own office, to build everything the right way. Like, you guys will see it once it's done, but there's gonna be 3 different desks and different styles of things for different stuff, and it's gonna be a really unique house, and everything's gonna be very intriguing. So I'm very curious to see if I was right. If I was right about the structure. I always said I would be the most productive once I finally do that. So that's one thing I'm definitely curious about. Is it gonna cost me more to live out in California? Definitely will, just because I'm not gonna live in some raggedy ass house, and I love cars. So I'm definitely gonna, since I have the ability to get cars out there versus like, I'm not just gonna get a car while I'm traveling and buy it. I'm definitely gonna build a garage. So I love cars, I'm gonna do that, and obviously continue to invest and grow my businesses, but that will be the focus. I'm just gonna kind of go in a hole for 8 to 12 months and not really enjoy too much else with life except just pursue my passion with business and fulfill the potential that's in there. And the last thing I wanna mention that's a little bit more personal is every single girl I have come in touch with, this is just my own personality type. Everybody, you guys might be, 18, 21, 16, whatever. You want to live the life where it's like the first layer flex of Instagram. Everything you see on Instagram is just, in the club with the bottles and all the half-naked women and the supercars and the yachts. that's sick. I've done that stuff. Like, I've been in the clubs, I've had the tables, the girls. Like, is it cool? I don't want to say it's not, but that's just not my style. That's not me. You know, so every girl that's kind of come into my life in a more personal way, I've had to at least cut ties or keep it short and not get attached to something I know that won't last. So it's been something interesting that I want to test out on that end of things, just to try something different. So no matter what I do, it's going to be an adventure. It's going to be something different that I want to test out and see how it goes, because at the end of the day, I'm still young. I just turned 18 a couple months ago, and I'm still trying to figure out this whole life thing. So I don't know, if you guys have any advice, any opinions or whatever, drop it in the comments down below. I'd be very curious, actually very, very, very curious to see what you guys have to say about this. Hopefully you got all the way through the video. If you did, I do appreciate your attention. Be sure to drop a like down below, and of course, join the family, join the gang by hitting that nice stinking subscribe button, and I will be seeing you in another video tomorrow, because I post every single day. Just, oh, this Wi-Fi out here has been horrendous. But anyways, I'm gonna continue posting every single day. If you guys wanna see that, subscribe down below and drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Just like that, I reiterated my outro, and I'm gonna be coming at you with a brand new video tomorrow from whatever location I am at next. So I'll be seeing you guys then. Peace.